You're listening to the Social U podcast, sponsored by Social University. Be sure to follow us on our socials listed in the show notes. Now, let's dive in. I'm Becky Johnson.
And I'm Laura Black.
Welcome to the Social U podcast.
We got fun things today, don't we?
Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about our personal social media. Does it exist? How does it exist? What does it look like? How is it different from what we do for clients?
It may or may not surprise you. I don't know.
Mine and yours are very different, but also I feel like they're both very different from how we do our clients.
Yeah, totally agree.
It's kind of like I used to do hair, and I would always do the hair for my clients, like super beautiful and wonderful. And then I would come in with like a messy ponytail looking like a dumpster fire because I spent all day fixing hair. And the last thing I wanted to do in my free time was fix hair. So I never would fix my own hair. And I kind of feel like sometimes that's how we are with our social media.
Well, what's that saying that's like, the cobbler's children don't have shoes, or something like that. I can't remember how it exactly goes, but it consumes us so much that in your time off, you just don't want to think about it, or you want to go totally fun. I mean, there's that side of it too.
Yes. You have a social media account for your dog.
I do. I have a 18-month-old Vizsla, and she's super high energy and super hilarious. And my daughter suggested it. So of course I was like, sure, but she went to college. So we're stuck with the dog documenting. So I'm not as consistent as I would be for a client, but if we have something fun, I try to throw something out there. So it's just fun, pure fun.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest differences is just consistency. We are on such a tight schedule for our clients. Mm-hmm. And with our personal social media, it's just like when we feel like it.
Right. You probably feel this way too. Like we're in such a vein of wanting to do things a certain way. I see real life as an opportunity to make a reel or that would, if we do it this way, it'll look better if we post it. And it really changes the lens you look through things with, at least for me.
So that is funny that you mentioned that. Last night, I went out to serve with a group that I serve the community with. And literally I took 4 5-second video clips because I was thinking I'm going to put these together and make a little montage reel when I get home.
No, truth. We have a vacation Bible school going on, and I was helping the lady decorate this weekend. Boy, before I left, I had video for B-roll. Sorry, Caryn.
Right. We're not making the B-roll for Social U, but we're definitely making it for our personal lives.
Whether I use it or not, I've got it.
So another thing is I don't worry about what my grid looks like at all. Like I want my pictures to be nice. I'm not going to post garbage picture, but I don't care if there's any sort of order or anything on my grid.
And that's okay. And I think it could easily go the other way as this is my fun one. So I'm going to make it how I want it. And I do want the grid to look cool. I mean, it's just, you can use that creativity any way you want. And I think that's nice to have the flexibility there. And I like to experiment a little bit on mine. Like I'll try to do different things that I don't want to accidentally jack up a client's stuff. So I'll mess with mine a little bit.
That is a good point. There have been things I have experimented on my social media before doing it for a client to make sure that it's something that will work. Or like when Threads came out, I tried Threads as myself without putting any clients on Threads just to see what it was about.
Personal accounts are kind of fun. And I guess I'm pickier about my personal accounts. I sometimes I get irritated. Like I don't love Facebook. I really like Instagram the best. But if somebody tags me on something on Facebook and then it's on my page, and that bugs me. Like I want it to be the way I want it to be and the pictures I want them to be. And I don't like to get tagged.
On my Facebook, I have it where I have to approve tags to show up on my page.
I need to change mine. I thought I had it that way, but I guess not. Again, not real focused on my own account.
Right. Another thing that I do on mine is I kind of use it literally as photo backup. If anything were to happen I always think worst case scenario, if something were to happen to my computer, to my phone, and Google Drive dies, it's like all my pictures are on Facebook.
Well, I had to pull him for a slideshow for one of my kids, and all my stuff is locked down. I don't keep it just public to anybody. But I was really glad that I could pull a few things from Facebook because we had a hard drive that was not being accessible at the moment. So it was kind of handy to have that backup.
And I do keep all of my old pictures on a hard drive, but when I want to go find a photo to show somebody something I'm talking about that happened 5 years ago, I don't want to have to go like grab my hard drive and connect it to my computer and find this picture. They'll never see it. Like I'll never do that work. Those hard drives will probably never be opened again. Those are for my children to have after I am gone.
And then they'll be like, how do we use this?
Right.
Yeah, I don't understand those. I mean, I do, and I think it's a great thing, but it just becomes a brick that's sitting in my office, and I don't know that I even want to deal with that.
One of my favorite platforms is YouTube. My YouTube account is very small. It's bigger than like a new account. I have like a little over 1,400 followers.
But that's really small. No, that's huge.
It's small for like a YouTuber, but I have like a ton of videos on there. But I literally at this point post a video like every 4 or 5 months. And it's one of those things where like if I were to do it every week, I feel like I could really grow my YouTube.
Yeah.
But like who has time for that? Like it's not my job. It's not the thing that I'm pouring all my energy into. So like I don't have time for my own self to put out a quality video once a week.
Because man, video editing is so time consuming. That's the last thing I want to do for fun.
Speaking of video editing, this is a video podcast today. So if you are listening to the podcast and you want to see it, you can actually access the video to this one on our YouTube channel. So check it out. What's your favorite platform personally to be on for yourself?
Instagram.
I also like the Instagram, and I'm like weird sometimes when it comes to where I post things. We talk about posting some things on Facebook, some things on Instagram. If I have a video, I will post that thing everywhere. I'll put it on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all the things. But if I have like a picture and it's a picture of me and someone else, I like to put it on the platform that they are on, if they are only on one of those platforms, so that they can see it and I can tag them in it. So I have some friends that are only on Instagram. Some of my younger friends, especially, are only on Instagram. They're not on Facebook. So I'll put that picture on Instagram and tag them. And then I have others that are only on Facebook. They are like, I started out with Facebook. I want one platform. This is where I'm doing everything. And if I have a picture with them or something that they were a part of, I'll post it on Facebook so that they are able to see it. If it's something where the person is on both, I'll put it in a story because I push my stories from Instagram to Facebook. And I'm like, now everyone can see themselves.
Fun times. Hey, do you do shorts on YouTube?
I do. I'm very inconsistent, but I do have some on there. Becky from Bama, go check it out.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
It's actually, Becky posts great stuff. So, I mean, it really is entertaining. It's worth a watch.
Another thing that's different, though, about my YouTube than it would be for a client is they always have their niche or however you want to say it. And mine is just like random, assorted craziness. It's like, here's a video of a trip we took to the Smoky Mountains. And here's a video of the Blue Angels when they came to wherever. And here's a video of a new makeup palette I got and what it looks like. And here's a city park in Columbus, Ohio. They're just so random.
But it's life. Life is random. You know, I mean, yeah, you don't not niche down, but still life is random and it's kind of a peek into your life, unscripted. And I think there's some beauty to that. And I think that's interesting to people.
Well, recently I had posted one about a surgical procedure I'd had. And I posted it because I'm like an information junkie, especially medically. So if I have to have something done, I am going to look at everything I can find on it. Before I had my kids, I was watching that baby story show that it was on like TLC or something.
Yeah.
I was watching that baby story show like religiously because I wanted to be fully prepared. So this procedure I was going to have, there was not a lot about it online. So I made a video. And my video was pretty much like the day before, the day of, and like a day or two after. And I said, I'll post later, like a few months from now, and let you know how it ended up. And then a few days ago, I got a comment on that video because I had not made how it ended up video. And it's been like 8 months. And they were like, hey, I'm about to have this done and I can't really find a lot. about it. Tell me, did it work for you? How are you doing now? Like, what's up? And so I made a follow-up video that I had already said that I would make and was able to share it with that person. So that's one of the cool things too, is it is sharing your life, but there's some things where like it's things people don't talk about and you want to know about it. So
yeah. And if it helps one person, that's nice. I like that.
One thing too, and I'm sure you do this, if I'm posting a picture, say, like my kids are beautiful. I love to post my children because they're beautiful. And I do have it set up where like only my friends can see my Facebook and stuff like that. But even still, if I post a picture of my kids and say it's the first day of school and it's a picture of them and they're standing in front of the school, I will go in there and I will blur out everything or put like boxes over everything so you can't see where my kid goes to school. And I'll do it close up enough where you can't get a good idea of like what the building looks like so people can't randomly find my children.
Yeah, I think you have to be smart and be safe, especially in this day and age. And we all want to think the world is great everywhere, but there's a lot of bad in it too. And I mean, we've talked about the scary side previously, and it's just not worth it. And my kids, the older they get, the less you're going to see them, because it used to be just, the sweet back to school pictures and stuff like that. But now I do try to ask and make sure they're okay with it. So you're not going to see a whole lot of my big kids now because they don't want it. They don't want it there. And that's okay. I respect that. That's okay.
One of the only things that bothers me about that is that out of all of my children, I only have one, we talked about her last time, one that doesn't ever want me to post pictures. So literally people that know us and know our family, it just looks like I don't like her. It looks like I don't like her as much as the rest of the family. Because like, here's all these pictures of the littles, because the littles love having their picture made. And then here's pictures of this teenager and this teenager, and they're doing all the things. But where is she? And it is completely her choice that she does not want to be posted. But to outsiders who see me posting my life, it looks like I just don't ever take pictures of that kid because I don't care as much about her.
But I'll say, in all fairness, you don't talk to you for 5 minutes and every single one of them matters so much to you, and that's not the case. So if they're close enough to you to be on your friends list, they're not going to think that. They're going to go, oh yeah, she didn't want to be seen.
And every once in a while, I'll post a picture where she's like covering her face like I'm the paparazzi. And I'll be like, this is the kind of pictures I get. This is why I don't take her picture. This is what she does.
Yeah.
And if I want her face in a picture, I have to promise that it's not going anywhere. And I will not break my promises to her.
Yes, I get a whole lot of, who are you going to send that to?
Oh, yeah. And then you have the little kids that are like, take my picture, send it to Caryn. So Caryn like randomly just gets pictures of my children that they have begged me to send her.
Oh, that's sweet though. That's so sweet.
Are you on TikTok? Like, I know that you see TikTok, but have you posted any TikToks?
Me, I was on it for a hot second and then I decided to get off, and no, which is funny because of what we do, but no, I've posted a few. I had a really fun one of when I flew home from the Momentum conference, not this past time, but probably 2022. And it was, the sunrise was amazing because you and I left the airport at dark 30. Poor Caryn had to drive us to the airport at like, I don't know, I felt like it was 3 a.m. It was probably 4 a.m. And the sunrise was just amazing. And I did that one. But other than that, I didn't do much. I helped a baseball team, a local baseball team here, just because my kid was playing for the team. And I did a few with them too, just trying to help build their presence, but not much.
I do love travel videos. They're my favorite ones to make. If I'm going somewhere, I love to show the plane ride. And I don't know, I'm obsessed with taking videos out the plane window.
Yes, me too.
Super cool. And I love to just show little glimpses of all the places that I went so that other people can see what those places are like. When we were getting ready to move to Ohio from Alabama, I watched so many YouTube videos about Columbus, Ohio, because that was the best way for me to see what it was really like. I mean, you can go to like the Columbus, Ohio website, but all you're going to get is the sugar-coated, this is the best stuff. If you want to see what it's really like, you go and watch all these people's YouTube videos. And there were some videos that were even like driving through the most dangerous part of Columbus at 12 o'clock at night, like there were
Wow.
all kind of videos. And I felt like they gave me a good idea of what I was getting into.
Yeah.
And then also I had an idea in my head when I moved here of some places I wanted to go because there were things on there that I thought looked so cool that I was like, I have to go see that when I move there.
Yeah. No shade to like TripAdvisor and all that, but I don't usually get what I want there. I don't feel like it's quite the truest picture of the places I go. And the other thing I do on my own personal social is if I travel, I don't post until I get back. I don't want people to know nobody's home. I feel like it's a safety thing, but that's just me.
I will do it sometimes, but only if there are still people at my house.
Yes. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Like if I'm traveling alone or if Robbie and I go somewhere, but the 20-year-old and the 19-year-old are here, then I might post about it. But if the house is empty,
nope,
you will not know about it. And if you did try to break in my house, listen, my neighbors, Charles and Sally, they will not let you do that.
That's awesome. Always great to have good neighbors. I have some amazing neighbors too.
I have cool neighbors. They are porch sitters, so they will see you.
Even better. One of my neighbors is a cop who works third shift, and he comes in the middle of the night, and I love that. He checks if your garage door's up, he'll come shut it. He's awesome. He knows which cars go where. And anyway, he's a fabulous neighbor.
I used to live next door to a police officer, and it was great for safety, but terrible if my dog ever got out of the fence. Because then not only do I have a neighbor that's annoyed with me bringing my dog back to me, but also threatening me with a ticket if my dog gets out again.
And you have a tiny dog. That's hilarious.
Yeah, super ferocious.
Yeah, really?
No.
Okay. Like, mine's kind of big, but she would lick you to death.
Your dog, from the Insta, I can tell, looks so friendly.
She thinks everybody comes to see her and it's her best friend, and she doesn't bark. She only take that back. She only barks at squirrels and raccoons. She don't like raccoons either.
Instead of a dog house, we have this like huge barn in our backyard. A third of it is blocked off with chicken wire, and the people that lived here before us had chickens. And it's like this huge area that they had their chickens in. And so we use that as the dog house because it's got the little chicken door with the little ramp, where he can go in and out.
I can picture him prancing up the little ramp.
He has this entire like chicken coop that's giant, that's like inside a barn, and he's trotting.
That's so funny. So I have another friend. He shared a post on Facebook, and it was this old shell of a vintage VW Beetle bug. And there's a doggy door cut into part of it, and the inside is all taken out. And like you can use the trunk for storage of like food and stuff, but it's like a doghouse. It's so cute. Oh my goodness. I was like, if I had room, that's just super cute.
That is adorable.
It was red. So cute.
So on social media, speaking of Pinterest, I have seen so many where they take the old TV cabinets from the old big TVs we used to watch and turn them into like little cat homes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would love that. With my luck, I would like spend all this money. I would go to the thrift store. I would buy an old TV. I would take the TV out. I would refinish the cabinet. I would put the little pillow in there. And then my cats would never use it.
Yeah.
That's what would happen. And they would just sit in a box in the floor.
Well, there's also a trend where they take those old tacky side tables like from the 70s and 80s that were like octagonal and, all those, and turn those into dog bed side table kind of deals. So, hey, that makes me think, do you do Pinterest personally? Like, do you actively do Pinterest?
I do. And I will tell you what I mainly use it for. It is completely self-serving. I don't use it as much anymore to like look for cool stuff. But I have a Amazon influencer storefront. And so if you have one of those, you can go pin stuff from your storefront, your links to your Pinterest, so that if somebody clicks on it and goes to your link and buys it, then you get the credit for it. But you do have to, if you do this, you do have to let them know that it is an ad. You are an affiliate. You are getting money. Like you have to somehow, you don't have to do like all three of those, but at some point in the description, you have to put that you're an affiliate.
Very cool.
I will say I only do things in my storefront that are things that I actually like. So I don't put just random expensive things in there to try to get people to buy them and earn commission. Like if it's in there, either I own it and like it, or someone that I trust very much has told me that they own it and love it. And so that's how things get put in there. Which is another thing I get to do with my personal is the Amazon influencer storefront, because it's not for businesses, it's for individuals. It's for influence. Like you can be a business and be a Amazon affiliate, but you don't get the influencer storefront unless you are, in quotes, an influencer, because I am obviously not an influencer.
Whatever.
They look at how many people follow you on your platforms, and it doesn't have to be a lot, because honestly, like I said, I don't have a lot, but they more look at engagement. So if your engagement is high, then they're like, well, the people that do look at it actually look at it, the people that follow you actually are paying attention to what you post. So if you have high engagement, and I would say probably more than 1,000 followers on a single platform, you should apply.
Pretty cool. Cool.
I will say though, in the last 4 months, I have made like $9. So it's not like I'm getting rich off of it. It's not like my side job. You know what? I made $9.
One day it might be your side hustle.
I made $9 that I otherwise would not have. I feel like it's one of those things you probably get out of it what you put into it. And I put very little work into it. And so I'm making like $2.50 a month. $2.50, not $250.
I mean, at least you're not in the red.
That's true. Because for each item, you get like 1 to 3%. So I'm making like 10 cents here, 20 cents there.
But really, $9 isn't too bad. I mean, if you're not even putting any work into it.
It has to be $10 before you get a payout. So I'm like, I'm inching up.
Like, come on, June, it's payout month.
It's almost here. And you can get paid out in like a direct deposit or on a card or something. Or you can just get Amazon credit. And that's what I chose.
I mean, why not? I mean, it's not like you're not going to use it.
I buy so much stuff on Amazon, which is one of the reasons I was like, I need a storefront. I'm like, obviously addicted to Amazon, and I buy so much stuff. I should at least maybe earn a little bit of money back. So I'm just like, put it on my Amazon account. And the next time I go to buy something after I get to that $10 mark, I'll save $10. So,
oh, hey, you influenced me to buy a phone holder that clamps on the desk. I mean, hey.
Which I'm using right now. And I'm using it to hold my mic, not my phone. It's
multi-purpose.
That is like, let's see, I really love it. I use it all the time. And that's why I put it in there. Yeah. If you're watching the video, you can see it.
You're the most real person I know, and I appreciate that.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that, because that's my goal. Sometimes it gets you in trouble when you act the same everywhere, but people expect you to act different at certain places. Like better.
Authenticity, baby.
And you're like, no, this is me. You invited me. This is what you get.
Which is one of the things I like, because you're not fake. So
it's like you knew before you invited me how I am. You knew I would probably wear Crocs.
That's true. Becky keeps it real.
I will say I did go to a wedding recently, and I did not wear Crocs.
I mean, you could have just bedazzled some and been like fitting right in.
I didn't wear Crocs, but I did wear very Becky shoes. They were bright red with big flowers embroidered on them. And I got them in Chinatown in LA, and they are very Chinatown. Like you look at them and you think Chinatown, but they went with the dress. So it was okay.
So when I was younger, I don't know where we even got these. My mom got them somewhere, and they were the little flat, cheap shoes that were the black, that only like Mary Jane's. They had real thin rubber soles, and they had embroidery all over the toe. Loved those. Like if I could get some, I would totally wear them now.
This is a video podcast, so I'm actually going to show you my shoe.
You're going to pick your foot up above your head?
No, I'm not putting it on. I'm just going to show you the shoe.
Oh, I was like,
but I can.
So. You yoga instructor, you. Oh, so cute. Yes, those are not them, but so cute. I love those.
And the little buckle is like just ribbon, and it hooks on that little thing.
Mine were very similar, but I love those. Next time you go to Chinatown, I'll give you my size.
And they were $18.
Yeah.
And I have tiny feet. It's so hard for me to find shoes. And when I saw those and they fit, and did I post an Instagram story about them? Yes, I did. Now, should we ask Caryn about her personal social media? If it exists, does it exist? Is there a real Caryn Taradas? Is she just a made up persona for social you?
Yeah, let's see.
Well, the answer obviously to all of that is yes. I'm the same person no matter where I am. I believe in transparency. However, I do get snarkier on my personal than I would on my business, just because that's who I am. I mean, that's who I am in real life. I'm super snarky, but just my personal Instagram, I haven't posted anything for over a year.
So the people that are hearing you say you get snarkier on your personal, but they follow you on TikTok, are like, what kind of monster is she on her personal accounts?
Yeah, it does get
snarky on there.
That's so funny because I think you're not on Facebook. I know you're not on Instagram much, but barely on Facebook. So we know where you spend all your time.
TikTok, baby.
We see you change your cover photo on Facebook, and that's about it.
Yeah, I will update my cover photo monthly just because I do like that. But Facebook is just not my thing. Now, I do get on it probably more than any other platform because it's just the easiest way to keep up with other people in my life, parents, aunts, sisters, uncles, nephews. They post their comings and goings a lot of times on Facebook. And I do troll on Instagram some, but my favorite platform by far is TikTok. I spend most of my time on TikTok. I haven't posted anything personally. Oh gosh, on Instagram, it has been a year. On Facebook, it's probably, I normally post a ton of stuff during Christmas and Halloween. I'll post jokes and stuff. And even the jokes are snarky, but I don't post like regular content. And I never, I'm going to out myself. I never, ever take pictures. Like I'm Gen X.
True.
I have a couple of friends and they didn't take pictures of me. I would have no documentation of my life ever. But, Gen X, I have more pictures of my son than my parents actually looked at me in real life.
Dang.
It's a very different mentality.
Well, also when we were young, it was you burning film. This is not this digital business,
Yeah.
Like
it was money to get those pictures.
Yeah, you got to buy the film, then you got to pay to get them developed.
Yeah.
And
It was very differently. Oh yeah, very different mentality. I just don't have a ton of pictures. And you'd think that I would compensate for that in my old age now. No, nope. I just don't.
Something you said too that makes me think about something that is the difficult road to traverse with your personal social media is the cover photos. And like even my desktop photo on my computer and my wallpaper on my phone, it's usually my kids. And then if I ever change it out for something, my kids are like, why did you take us off of there?
Uh-huh.
Why are you mad at me?
Do you still love us? Why is my face no longer your Facebook cover photo? And it's like, I'm literally just saying Merry Christmas for like 2 weeks. And you're going to be back up there. I promise.
Well, so someone who speaks regularly and has my laptop regularly hooked up to slides and projections, I don't ever have any kind of screen saver on my laptop that I wouldn't be embarrassed for the whole world to see because the whole world is going to see it.
Well, I mean, we Zoom so much or StreamYard, like today, love us some StreamYard.
Yeah. This future broadcast is going to be brought to you by StreamYard.
Affiliate link in our description.
Affiliate link in description. We ride hard for StreamYard, y'all.
We love us some StreamYard, but periodically you got to share your screen and you don't want to be caught unawares.
Correct.
Would you say a still shot from an anime as your desktop wallpaper would be embarrassing or not embarrassing?
Well, you don't want anybody to prejudge you before you even start your presentation. I just keep it generic for that specific reason.
Because they might think I'm way cooler than I am if they see I've got the Jujutsu Kaisen background, which I totally don't have.
The one kid that doesn't want to be photographed, I am always very careful with any image of my offspring. And for many years, I didn't tell people what kind of offspring I had. I never mentioned names anywhere. It's always, I've just always called him mini me. And then he got taller than me. So now I've been calling him medium me. He should be maxi me or junior.
He's taller than you. He's no longer medium.
He is no longer medium. He's a sadly full-grown adult now. So, but yeah, I don't post images of him without his permission. Have you seen the case where people, these kids that were growing up as part of family life vlogs are now suing to have their images removed. Yeah, good for them.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what happened.
They're kind of an experimental generation. I mean, in that aspect,
Nobody wants a camera shoved in their face when they're having their worst moment ever, or they just got punished or grounded. That is ridiculous.
All these people watch John and Kate +8 and we're like, I could do that. I could do that with my 3.
Give my kids for money. I literally just said mini me and it appeared.
Maxie Me, would you like to be on screen?
You want to have your face on screen?
Not even a little.
Would you like to tell the joke of the day?
You want to tell the joke of the day? What's the joke of the day? What joke do you have?
So these two guys walk into a bar.
No, don't do anything that's going to get me sued,
Okay,
please.
so these two guys walk into a bar. One of them goes, ow.
That is terrible.
We asked for a joke. I mean, hey.
Wow. Go on, quick.
What was the one? A priest, a preacher, and a rabbit walk into the bar.
A rabbit?
A rabbit
says, I think I'm a typo. Are we ready for this week in social media?
Yes.
Please.
I wanted to talk about the dumpster fire that is Jojo Siwa right now. And listen, I don't want to be mean because she has been in the public eye, like these kids that we talked about, from a very young age. She does not know how to be a normal person, a normal adult. She doesn't know what it's like to live without a camera in her face. And that is becoming more and more obvious.
Uh-huh.
And I feel like we talk about social media things on here, obviously, as social media managers. And I feel like we are just watching her destroy her career in real time on social media.
Well, she wants to be edgy. She wants to break out of the little kid persona that she's had because she was a little kid. She grew up
people growing up on it. Yeah.
So she's trying to change that. And, I get that. Julie Andrews doesn't want to be Mary Poppins forever. I get it. You want to change, but she's not doing it well.
No, not at all.
That Karma song it's okay, I guess.
It's a little catchy. I'll give her that.
Okay, it is a little catchy. But the video for someone who grew up dancing, none of her movements are on the beat. I find that deeply disturbing.
It looked comical, like the dancing was comical to me.
It's super angry and exaggerated and not in time with the music. It was just awkward. And I'm like, you're a dance person. I was expecting different, better. I don't know. Not that. I wasn't
was that intentionally bad?
I don't think so.
So I don't follow her. I'm probably the least informed out of all of us. And I just went down the rabbit hole looking at all the stuff. And holy cow, she's struggling.
She has this edgy new look. And she basically looks like Gene Simmons. I'm like, it's not new.
But literally, before her edgy look, her look was to have rhinestones and stuff all over her face and shapes. And now they're just black. It's still the same thing.
Putting on black leather pants and putting makeup on that looks like Gene Simmons does not make you trendy. It makes you struggling. I mean, it's just
And some of the things that she has said. First of all, with the Karma song, talking about how it's about her past relationships and all this. And then you find out that she didn't even write it. It was actually released by someone else.
Someone else, and she took it. Yes.
And so then that makes her look bad. Then saying, if you watch the video, you can see the interviewer's eyes just glazing over, saying that nobody in her generation has ever made as big of a transformation as her.
Wow.
Well, she has people talking if that was her goal. I mean,
so does Northwest, Laura, but it ain't good.
I know. Well, and if she wanted to change her look and her brand, I mean, I get that. She don't want to be a baby anymore. But it's what we always quote, branding is what people say about you when you're not in the room. And they're talking, but
here we are.
And
the lack of self-awareness is very, very high. The whole nobody's ever made a transformation like this. And then she also made the claim that she was the first ever musician influencer. Like there had been musicians before that had like big social media followings, and there had been influencers that had tried music, but she is the first ever that is like equal musician influencer.
Darling,
No, you're not.
Brittany walked so that you could run.
Like, how can you be so just
There's a reason people say Beyonce's internet.
Right.
How could she? Oh, wow.
She's in a downward spiral. I mean, it's hard to watch. She really
Yeah.
is kind of a train wreck.
Did you see the Epcot?
Yes.
Epcot for her birthday, she did like the drinking through the countries. And this is what I saw a lot of people posting. I watched a lot of reaction videos about it.
Mm-hmm.
And people are like, in every video, her cup is full. Whatever country she's in, she's got a full cup and she takes a little bitty sip and nothing ever goes down. And sure, she could have just shown like the first sip in every country. But what most people think happened is that she just barely sipped out of each country and is pretending to be drunk, to be edgy for this new edgy transformation, because her drunk looks like when little kids drink sparkling grape juice on New Year's and pretend to be drunk. It was so over the top and so not realistic that people are like, that is not. And to try to be edgy by being drunk, first of all, is not very smart. But to try to be edgy by pretending to be drunk is maybe the least edgy thing I can think of.
It's that whole telling people you're an anarchist proves you're not an anarchist. It's very catch-22, but she's struggling. She's spiraling.
My dad used to always say all the people he ever saw that drew like the anarchy symbols on their notebooks and stuff wouldn't last 5 minutes in actual anarchy.
Yeah.
That'd be the first to go.
Yeah.
If the purge happens, they're going down. Yeah, so that's a train wreck. And I feel sorry for her because of what messed up past she has had. And so I am really rooting for her. I am rooting for her to gain self-awareness through this, maybe learn some important lessons about being humble. A little humility goes a long way.
Oh,
and hopefully she will be able to
like a train, yeah.
because the humility is not there right now.
Well,
right?
Much the same as the Kardashian parents. She didn't choose this. Her parents or guardian put her in front of a camera to be tortured by a dance instructor on national TV. That cannot be healthy for your long-term emotional development. And all of these people who were coming for Northwest in the Lion King performance, that kid didn't choose that. Those parents did that to that poor kid.
Yeah.
So, again, let me go back to my previous statement of if you have to have your kid in your social media, you don't need social media.
Yeah. And I'm not against like child actors. We would not ever be able to have movies or TV shows that show real life without them. But when you sacrifice your child's well-being and their mental health on the altar of stardom, then it's gone too far. Those children that are doing those things, their parents need to try to make their lives as normal as they possibly can, even though it's obviously not going to be normal. But like Bill Gates' kids, not going to be normal either, but as normal as you can possibly make it and not put things out there that make your kid look bad.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and there's a long history of child entertainers that have just had the worst experiences. It starts with Shirley Temple, Judy Garland, all these child entertainers that just went through it. Of course, I'm sure there's industry issues, but come on, parents, you're supposed to be your child's protector.
Yeah, right.
Your first bully. Yeah.
If your child loves it and they're having a good time and they are making money, hey, that's great. When you love it and your child hates it, and they're crying every day because you're putting them through this, then you need to rethink what's your priority.
Yeah, the only positive example I can think of would be, I think, Selena Gomez. She really, really wanted to do it, and her mom gave everything up and moved her across the country so she could pursue that dream. And I could be wrong. I mean, I didn't do a deep dive on this before we started, but I think she had a positive experience, and she seems relatively normal now.
I feel like a lot of the ones that have had the bad experiences have had parents who were just really greedy. Like you see so many child stars who have to sue their parents for the money that they made because their parents are living the way they want to, and they are getting a small allowance even in adulthood.
Yeah. Mama June.
So many of them now, we see some of them combusting like this. You know, we watched Miley Cyrus, we watched Britney Spears, you watching this chick. Like, I mean, it just, what about all the ones whose parents were just vlogging about them? You know, they're having issues too. And I think this is a bigger scale. This is a pretty big scale problem.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
And Jojo Siwa has said repeatedly that Miley Cyrus is her biggest influence, at least one of her biggest influences, that she wanted her transformation to be like Miley's transformation from Disney star to adult. And I wasn't a big fan of the Miley transformation, but I do feel like she did it a lot better than JoJo did because she didn't tell everybody, look, I'm having a transformation, which I think is one of the biggest things that's killing the entire thing, is that she keeps talking about it and keep like, it's not like she's just like doing things as an adult now. It's like, look at me, I'm so grown, I'm an adult, I'm not a kid anymore, look at me, I'm transforming so big,
I'm rebelling.
I am a rebel. If you are really doing those things, people will see it. You don't have to advertise it. And Miley just all of a sudden started doing things, and we were all like, oh my goodness, what happened? Then she was like, I'm grown now. And it didn't really affect her career as poorly as I feel like it's going to be for JoJo.
Well, and they're trying to do some like forced authenticity, you know, and be yourself.
That's an oxymoron.
The book, like Jenny McCurdy, who wrote the book, I'm Glad My Mom's Dead, that is all about being a stage parent and putting your kid through the ringer to make money for the family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, kids, get it together. Mommy needs money.
Yeah, 8-year-old. Get out there and tap dance. Yeah.
So Sippin social media tea this week. This is one that I feel like we have all felt like this.
Uh-oh.
It says, sometimes I have a strong urge to tweet this from my organization's account.
Oh, I know what this is.
Senior management does not run and probably doesn't even look at this feed. Please be nicer to this team of one.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom. For those of you who are not observing this and only listening to the podcast, Becky has now muted herself so she can yell at her 200 children.
It's true. Hey, part of the authenticity. This is what it's like to work from home. I am podcasting in my bedroom right now. My house has 3 stories and I'm on the middle one, and my children should be on the bottom one.
But they are not.
But they are all right outside my door. They keep poking their head and giving me thumbs up. And I'm just like,
look at your fingers under the door. That is, wow, that is something.
It's like having a toddler or a dog. You can't go to the bathroom in peace. They're going to come with you.
What are you doing? Yeah.
My cat didn't even open the door. So that's fun. And you're like, who's coming in here? Oh, it's Ralphie. He's fine.
Hey, Ralphie. He's trying to get some peace and quiet too.
The Sippin social tea and the social media hotline kind of go together.
Okay, let's have it.
Because it's all about being that audience of one, if you will, to all the things that come in through the DMs and the comments. You know, we're the ones that are dealing with those things, generally not the people that we're doing it for. So check this out.
He is queuing up right now.
Social media hotline. Feet pics. I thought I told you not to call me here.
That's awesome.
So if you are sending those feet pics and you think you're giving them to like someone that runs a company, most likely they're going to their young social media manager that does not want to see that.
To be clear, any weird, naked, offensive, horrifying direct messages that you are sending to a brand, someone is getting it and showing it to all of their friends.
And they're laughing. They're not being like, oh, wow. They're laughing.
Yes.
If you're into that, maybe I guess that's what you should do. But if not, try something else.
Yeah.
Right.
So next week, we're going to be talking about, this kind of goes along with that as well, the cringiest things on social media. And we've seen some cringe. I've made some cringe. Okay.
Right.
I'll be honest, I've made some cringe, but we are going to talk about some of the cringiest stuff that we've seen. So Be here. Be there. Be square.
Yeah, see you then.
Hey, that was cringy.
When we were talking about changing your image, I'm like, the Fonz never had to tell people he was cool. And I thought, I can't say that. That's horrifying.
But it's true.
It is true.
It is true.
Hey.
Thanks for listening to the Social U podcast, sponsored by Social University. We'll see you next week.